I'm going to use MIXAMO to grab my next weapon stance and apply the animation strategy we talked about in my last video. Then we'll take a look at how I use Blender to edit the base walk animation to support aiming up and down using this rifle animation stance here. Let's dive in. So the first thing I want to do is download this, and I'm using in place here because that's what our current setup is. I'm not using root motion, so I don't need to have him actually walking around. So we just want to keep it in place here. We'll go ahead and download. I'm going to use without skin because if you look over at my Blender, I've already got my character here. So we're just going to import it onto this existing armature. Let's go ahead and download. Okay, so now that that's downloaded, I'm going to move that over into my folder. Okay, so over in Blender, let's go ahead and import that new download. And you can see there, ignore the bending over guy. What I'm going to do is delete that armature that it imported. For this setup, I only care about using the keyframes for his arms, neck, head, and whatever supporting spine bones we need to do the aim up and down animation blend. I'm going to reuse my existing base walk animation, so we don't really care about this one here. I mean, you totally could support having a different walk animation for whatever weapon stance you want, but I'm going to just stick with my original walk one because I know the strafe versions of it are also supported. So we'll create a new walk animation and remove the keyframes for the bones that will be needed for the blend between the aiming up and down, and we'll see how that works later. And I'm not going to show this in this video, but you can use the same process to support strafe. So if he's going to be holding a rifle with strafe, you'll also have to create another base animation with those, arm, head, neck, and whatever spine bones removed so that the strafe will also work with aiming up and down. And then what we'll do is we'll create another 3 animations that are very similar to walk. Let me see if I can find it. One arm down, forward, and up. So that's one arm up, and then one arm forward, and one arm down. So that's him aiming up and down, and then we blend between those for that one arm aim. Well, because we're using both arms in the rifle position, what we're gonna do is create duplicates of these, one arm up, down, or whatever, but I'm gonna base it off this stance. So I'm gonna take him looking down with his head and neck and his arms, and I'm gonna take that part and make a version of this where he's looking forward. So this would be like the forward version still, and then I'm gonna tilt both his hands up for up and then down for down. And we're basically going to create 3 more animations for that. So up, forward, and down. So we're looking at 6 total animations to support aiming with both hands holding a rifle. So the first thing we need to do is, let me just change this to do. Okay, and that'll be our placeholder. And then what we'll do is let's create a walking. So we'll take our walking animation, which is completely working. We're going to create a copy of this, and we're going to call it walking rifle stance. Okay, we'll go ahead and add him to that armature. And what we're going to do here is we're going to remove all of the arms. We'll remove the shoulder, and we'll get this whole side. And let's also remove this spine, neck, and his head. So it looks like 2 spines, a neck, and top of the head. I don't remember which ones I have selected right now. Yeah, so there's spine 1, 2. So we'll do 2 neck, head, and I'm guessing that's going to be enough. So we're basically going to remove all those animations off this character. Okay, so I'm going to select them all and delete. So you can still see it because it's based on the walking animation, and his head will move a little bit, I think, because of the other spine's movement. Let me actually try to test this really quick. And let's go ahead and do walking rifle stance. Yeah, and you can see his neck and head are just kind of ignored there. They're like really stiff. They're not really doing their own thing. So, okay, so I'm first just gonna do walking, and then now I'm gonna do the aim up, forward, down, and then we'll come back and do the strafes later. So I think I wanna start with, let's go back to his rifle one here. And let's select basically the inverse of what we just selected. So I don't care about his legs. Now you could get fancy and do a whole, like I just didn't want to use this walk and have to do a whole other walk again. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But then I would just have to also do a version of this walk with another strafe. And we already kind of have strafe built out, so I just thought it would be easier to start from what we have already. And then if it looks like it's an improvement, we'll go ahead and do that improvement at a later point or as an optimization. So this is really just an experiment. So I'm going to go ahead and select basically the inverse of everything that we just selected a second ago. And I think that is everything that we want. So we'll come down here and just go ahead and delete all these. And then let's go see where else we have selected. And we're going to delete the legs and hips and that sort of thing. So as you can see there, he's aiming the rifle. So this is going to be like our forward aiming stance. And you could make this so he's not wobbling. Like if you don't like that wobble, I'm going to let it slide for now, because I think that when we fire a gun, he'll kind of like aim up and fire. And that'll be like a separate animation. That's what I have in mind. But if that ends up not working out, then we'll just go ahead and remove the wobble and basically just have him stuck like that. And now that I'm kind of thinking it through, it actually might make more sense to remove the wobble, only because it'll blend better. You know what? Let's just do it for now. And then if it looks like it's bad, then we'll come back to it. So this is going to be, we're going to change this to forward, walking rifle forward. Awesome. Tag that with this guy, walking rifle stance, walking rifle forward. So let's rename it to walking rifle aim forward. There we go. And let's duplicate this, and we're going to say aim up. We'll add that to the character. And I think what we can do here is I'm going to experiment a little bit. I'm wondering if I can select these and just kind of tilt it up, right? Just like that. So if we put his skins back on, yeah, he's aiming up. So that looks great. Now let's take his head and his neck, and also let's see what that looks like with the skin back on. I don't know. What do you think? That's probably pretty good. I'll just tilt it up a little bit more. I mean, his arm looks a little bent in, a little funny. Maybe we can, that doesn't really do much. Yeah, it looks like he's getting his, this area right here is getting a little crimped in. I'm not too worried about it. Let me make sure it's actually straight up. Yeah, this looks pretty good. This looks pretty good to me. I almost don't want to mess with it too much. So let's go ahead and select what we have available, and we'll go ahead and keyframe that. I think we'll just do available. And then, wait, why didn't it save? I don't want to save everything because that'll add everything. No, it just adds what we have. So I think that's what we wanted. So let's go ahead and, man, it just really bothers me how twisted up he is. Like, almost want to spend the time. It's like this model wasn't meant to bend that much. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to move on because it doesn't matter. Okay, so what's nice about this animation is we can go ahead and delete everything after that first point. The way that I'm doing this now, I'm not saying this is the perfect way to do it, but we go ahead and select that, and we'll just move it over to, like, I don't know, 32, and we'll just do that. He's gonna be fixed there. We don't want him to be moving around. He's just going to be fixed because that's going to be his aim up. So when the camera's down here, you're going to see, like, him up here. We may have to back it off a little bit more. Like, we may have to really bend him back so he can look more straight up, but we'll make that call after we do some experimentation. So let's go back to rifle aim forward to get him reset. So now he's forward. And if you've guessed it already, we're going to go ahead and make a copy and do walking rifle aim down. Add him back to the armature, and now we're going to select the same muscles. I think it was this shoulders. Maybe that's the problem, is I was rotating the shoulders too much. And we'll go now. Let's just tilt him down. Check it out. It looks pretty good. Maybe just bring it up a little. Well, let's just go ahead and do that. And if the rifle, it's clipping into him pretty bad. Let me actually try this really quick because it's going to be walking rifle stance. Then let's go back to it, down, kind of reset it. Okay, now let's try it again. Yeah, he's going to clip in a little bit. That's okay for this because I don't really want to worry. I don't really want to worry about it too much. I just want to get the gist of it working, and then we can always come back and clean up as we go. I just want to get the proof of concept down. Okay, so I'll tilt him down so he's looking down. And I know it's going to clip a little bit, but that's okay. And his head's already looking down, but I don't think that's true. I think that's kind of from something left over. So we'll go ahead and key that there. And let's go. And now let's select his spine there, and we'll just rotate that down a little bit more. See how bad that is. I don't know. I don't think we need to go that low. I think we'll just stick right there, and we'll keyframe that. And let's select everything here, delete everything else. I think that was everything. And we'll stick it over to 32, and we'll just do that so he can be down there. So this is, we're gonna blend between down and up while he's walking with the rifle. We can always work out and like tilt his back out and make those adjustments, and we might have to add that spine back in to our selection, to our walking selection. And you know, that might mean we just redo this really quick, but ultimately it's not too much work. I think we can get away with this, and I really just want to see how this is going to turn out really quick. So now we have those three things. We can go ahead and export and do a GLB, and I'm just following along my step 12. Go ahead and export. Now that we have that exported, let's re-import him. The right hand bone attachment is where I actually attach the gun. So I'm copying it over from the previous armature setup that we had and making it local to our new one, or making it attached to our new skeleton. Just do some quick setup here with the animation tree and player. And let's go back to that animation tree, and we'll go back into our state machine here, and let's edit our rifle. So in theory, we should be able to do walking rifle. And then of course over here we'll have strafe. I'm not going to add strafe right now because we didn't do that yet. So let's just go ahead and leave that there. And let's connect another state. And I also want to add a condition here. We'll just call it walking rifle. And we should have another, yep, right there. We have another condition showing up. So we'll uncheck the other one. And down over here, we're going to have to create another state machine. Now, this is not going to work. What I'm about to do isn't going to be a long-term solution. This is just for testing purposes to make sure that what I'm doing works, and really just to show you guys how my like workflow is. So we're going to create another blend tube for this rifle specific. I am going to have another video that talks about how to do this properly instead of what I'm going to do now, but that's going to be in a separate video. So this is going to be rifle blend. I'm just going to leave it at that, or I should probably call it motion. Okay, and in here, we're going to enable filtering, and we are using the head, neck, and I believe spine 2 is what we had selected. Yep, spine 2. And the rest, we will need all his shoulders. We'll need both shoulders and everything underneath that. Really wish there was a select all under thing. I haven't figured it out yet, unless I just hold shift or something. No, it's not letting me. At least I can just click the name.
A few moments later.
If anybody has a shortcut, let me know, because this is kind of a pain. Okay, so we're going to filter that. And now what we're going to do is create another state machine. So this is the state machine for one arm pistols. Okay. And this was just me experimenting. I probably should remove this. And so this is one arm pistols. We're going to have another state machine for the rifle. So we'll say rifle stance state machine. And in here, What did I create here? Was this was a 1D. So we'll just create another 1D. We'll do in blend. And this blend will go into, or the transition will go into there. I'll just stick it here. Okay. And then we'll go and do the 1D here. Blend space 1D. Great. And we'll go and edit that. And in the middle, hopefully if you're following along, what do you think I'll be putting here? Okay, so we're going to be doing walking rifle aim forward. Probably should have just called this rifle aim forward, but I think because you could use this for both idle, I probably shouldn't have had the word walk into it, but you know, you guys can forgive me for that misnomer there. And then we'll do aim down, and then over here we'll do aim up. Great. And let's go ahead and connect everything up. Let's connect it. And I believe I also want to have a condition so that we can make sure we aren't loading the incorrect, because in theory you would have multiple different rifle stances. Maybe, you know, maybe there's, I don't know, some other kind of stance that you want to put there. So we'll go over here and let's make our condition main, or I'll just call it rifle stance for now. And we'll do that blend. And this is the aim up. This is the aim rifle. Okay. And then if we'll come back here, we have our little condition here. So let's connect this guy up, and let's actually do a little quick preview. And I think I want to select walk. And is this, okay, so something right away. Oh, let's go back over to our walk. And this is going to be walking rifle. So we need to make sure that walking rifle is checked, which I think is this one. Oh, I think I need to do, what is it? Walking rifle. I need to put that on repeat. That's not the right one. It should be walking rifle stance, right? So you can see his arms are ignored. And if we go back to the animation tree, I don't know if this is gonna work yet. Hit walk. Which one is it? Yeah, it should be this one. Okay, so we have walking rifle. Whoops. Yep, okay, so that looks right. He's just a little tilted. Okay, so walking rifle is working. So when that condition's met, which is this first checkbox, he's the, you know, we have our walk transition happening, and we've got this guy blended. And if we do this, perfect. So obviously he should be holding a pistol, but I don't have the pistol loaded right now. That'll be at a later time. And let's go ahead and play around with this. So he's walking forward, and look at that. Aim down. The aim down's a little funky. Aim down did not turn out how I wanted it to turn out, but you know, the aim up, that looks pretty good to me. I mean, imagine if there was a rifle there. This aim up looks great. Aim down, not so much. Wonder why the aim down doesn't look as good. So right here, he's like looking down the barrel of the rifle. And then if I look aim down, it almost needs like, we almost need like another bone involved. You know, and his back doesn't look as bad in this blend. You know, honestly, if you're just looking at that, and this is just a dummy character, of course, you know, for your game and even for the demos that I like to do, I'm probably going to upgrade it. But for these instructional things, it's really easy to work with a lightweight model. So that's basically it. That's how you would do that. Notwithstanding this problem here with the aiming down, I think what we could do is involve another bone over in the blender model. If we look here and let's get rid of his, we come down to this bone and bend him over a little bit more. I think that's going to be better for us. So which one is that? That's one that we're not even, so this is the aim one. So we're not accounting for that spine, but we might have to now. We might need to, because I think we're going to need him to bend, to tilt down more like that. So I wonder if I can add that. I went ahead and added this bone just by right clicking and hitting insert keyframe location because it didn't have anything yet. So I have this spine bone. So we're gonna have to keep, so if you're doing this, I missed a bone. I think having this second spine number 1. Yeah, spine number 1. I think that was gonna be important to capture here. So let me go ahead and just select and hit available. I think he will just look down like that, and we'll go ahead and just key another frame. And I think he will be there. Yeah, so I think if we redo this animation and re-import this into Godot, I think he will look a little better. He's still gonna be clipping. Let me check. He's gonna bend over a little. He's gonna hunch over a little bit and bend down. Yeah, we might need to include a little bit more. I think this is getting, or maybe I don't really want to mess with the arms too much. It just makes it really easy. Which one is this? Is this a new spine? This is just spine. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna have to do is this. Let me undo that. I think what we'll have to do, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to do that actually. So can I redo that? Oh, it's not letting me. Okay. So if I click on his spine and I bend him over a little bit, I think what we're gonna do here is let's go ahead and capture that because I don't have that. Just do all of them. Okay. And we'll go ahead and just copy that over to the first one as well. He's stuck like that. And then what we'll do is I think we need to adjust his shoulders a little bit. So now I hope he's not going to be clipping. Yeah, so I think this is going to be better. I know it looks a little silly, but I think this is going to work a little bit better than what I originally had, where his arms were clipping into himself. So let's set that there. And let's go ahead and copy that. Great. I think this will be better. He's definitely aiming. It looks like he's aiming off to the side, but I think once he's walking, it'll work. Let me check. Let's see what this is like. So this is kind of center. So this is like center. So the crosshairs will be, you'll be looking at it like this. So he's kind of looking down. Like, let's say the blue line is kind of where he's aiming. That looks about right. And then if we tilt him up, he should kind of stay along that line. He's a little to the left. So I think we'll definitely have to make an adjustment to the left a little bit to get his aim to shift over here a little bit more. So that's, taking the shoulders and turning that, or taking that spine and turning that. And then of course, when he aims down, yeah, then we're gonna have to shift it back to the right a little bit. It said left, but I think I meant right. Yeah, we're gonna have to shift these things to the right a little bit to get that aim here. Right now it's over here and we need to kind of straighten that out. Okay, this is kind of my workflow with how I'm approaching setting up the animations, and I could go ahead and export this again, and he should be able to not be clipping into himself while walking. So it would look better. It would look like this, but he would be bent over a little bit more, and that's a little bit more realistic if he needs to shoot downward. However, I don't really want to go through that right now because I do need to fix his stance. I think if we can maybe do something like that, where he's looking down more. Let's see how bad that looks. Yeah, he's almost clipping into himself a little bit, but that's not terrible. It's basically down. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's clip, or let's go ahead and save that, and we'll copy that selection, and we'll paste it over there. Whoop. Because you got right shoulder and left shoulder should be selected. Yeah. So let's do this. Do one at a time. And where was it? Right shoulder. So now should be aiming, which makes a little bit more sense, and probably should tilt his head a little bit. Now we're getting a little complex here. It's okay. Yeah, I just don't want it to look terrible. All right, so that's aiming down, and let's go ahead and just apply those same changes to rifle aim up. There we go. So I think we have a much better aim up down animation. stance. So let me look at it from straight on. There's down, there's forward, and there's up. I really hope that this blends well. Let's just take a look and see. I really hope it does. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. Gotta go back under animation player and set these things to cycle. So let me see which stance was it walking rifle? No, it was walking rifle stance. So I'm just going to test these. I don't know if I need to actually loop these animations because nothing's actually happening, but we're just going to do it. Okay. And now that that's ready, animation tree, let's see what he's doing. We'll open the editor and he's looking down, looking up, looking down. Well, he's not walking. What's going on? Let's see. Idle, walk. All right. So wait. We go back under to his walk animation. Which one was this? Walking rifle? Did I not? I thought it was called something else. Okay, so that means under the animation player, walking rifle stances, I thought what I was using. Apparently I'm using walking rifle. It doesn't sound right. Okay, okay, whatever. And now let's go back under to our aim rifle state or blend. Okay, so he's looking up, looking forward, looking down, and up. Okay, so this is cool. This is much better. Oh, I know. His spine isn't bending. Okay, I was like, something feels off here. Hit edit filters. And now we need to go and edit that second spine. And I believe that's it because we already did the head. I think that should be good enough. Open that editor again. And if we... Oh, he's still not... Oh, I know why. Because... Okay, so this is like one of the nightmares about this. Not nightmares, but one of the... you're doing something complex here, so it's not really a nightmare, but you have to make sure that whatever your base animation is, right? So your walk, this walk needs to be compatible. So which is this walk that I've selected? It should be that walking rifle. This walking rifle animation needs to have whatever we just selected in this editor, whatever's selected over here. So the spine 2, neck, head, left shoulder, and right shoulder all need to be ignored so that they can be correctly blended. Otherwise, it'll try to blend it within him. Like if you notice right now, his spine muscle, there's like a spine bone, back here should be bent more, and it's not at all because we're not ignoring it. And I believe that's because this animation here, this rifle one that we've got selected here, he's not ignoring that spine muscle. It's just, let me just check it. I think it's walking rifle. Yeah, I didn't know I was using this one. I don't think that's correct. I think I'm using rifle stance. I do have his spine there. And I think what this means is I need to remove this spine from this because we use the spine now. Remember, because we used the spine in the rifle aim. We got spine 2 and spine 1, I thought we had. Maybe I didn't do forward. Yeah, so we use spine 1 and spine 2. So in our walking version, the walking stance, we need both spine 1 and 2 to be ignored, and we still have spine 1 here. That's why walking rifle stance won't work. But it doesn't matter whatever I was going to do because this isn't their correct. It should be stance. Yeah, there we go. It shouldn't work in theory, unless I learn something new all of a sudden. Okay, so he's forward, looks up, looks down. This is pretty good, right? Without even doing the spine thing. But let's do the spine thing really quick just so we paint that full picture. I'm going to go ahead and delete this spine out of here. Export it out again. Make it level with underneath player model. And then we'll drag over the player model and select our animation tree, drag over animation player. And then in the animation player, we need to select walking rifle stance, not strafe. Walking rifle down, forward, and up. Because those are the only 3 I care about right now. What else? Animation tree. Let's take a look at our player. And let's hope. I think we got it this time. No, I didn't. Why isn't his spine moving at all? I have the walking rifle stance. I think we've even got the editor. I think we got the filters. Really don't think I need that other spine muscle. Make sure we're doing everything that we can here. Yeah, he should have been bent over a lot more there. Unless I just did it wrong. Let's see. So he's walking, and then if we apply down, yeah, look how much further down he's bent. So spine 2 and spine 1. Wait, spine and spine 1. Oh, so I do need that filter. Let's go back and get that spine filter now. Now he looks correct. Now I think we've got it. So we did another lap around the workflow, and he's aiming down, and he's aiming up, aiming down. And you know what? Is this gonna work? I don't have any code right now to enable this. Like I don't have my rifle code in here right now. So I would have to hack it together really quickly. And I really don't want to do that because that's going to take like another 20 minutes or so for me to do it. But it doesn't matter. This is working. You would basically copy the code that I currently have, which I'm going to show you guys what I did to set this up. And where, like right here, I'm doing like animate arm weapon aim tracking. And instead of hard coding this main arm state machine, or maybe no, yeah, here we go. Yeah, this isn't hard coded. This is hard coded. That's okay. This part would be based on whatever gun you had. So you detect which gun that your players has, and then in that gun's metadata, that weapon's metadata, whatever it is, whatever type of weapon, you would just fill in the condition, which maps back to this condition. So for this one, you would put in walking rifle, and he would automatically apply the main arm walk, or the aim. Actually, I think it's this one. Main arm. Yeah, sorry. It would have been the actual aim state machine. Is hard coded, and then whatever weapon that you would want to select, whatever state machine maps to whatever weapon here. Like I have different weapon state machines here for the different aim types. You would map that to there. Then back over in the walk state machine, which is set somewhere else. What did I call it? Walk state machine. Yeah, so this would be hard coded, and you would do another condition for, instead of this strafe thing, you would do what I just said a second ago, which is walking rifle. And again, your weapon metadata should supply that. So you're basically engaging this state, and you're engaging this state. If you had like multiple rifles, you would select this one, and that's it. And whatever this 1D blend is from 0 to 1 to -1, that works in every single blend that you would have set up here. So you wouldn't have to change your code at all. You would just have to swap these out dynamically, what I just talked about. But I'm going to get into that into another video, so keep an eye out on that. And I'm also going to try to resolve the problem where it only works one at a time. I have a pretty good idea of how to do that. I just need to figure it out. So stay tuned. If you're following along, I'm going to post a video that should talk about how to solve that problem, where you can have and support because all the state machines can be in one, as long as we're using the same base walk. I don't see a problem with that. You can do rifle in here. You can do grenade. You can do knife stance, pistol aiming stance, because it's all based on the same walk animation. But then over here, you would need a different blend for each one because they require different filters. Now, you could say, why would I bother with that? Why don't I just filter everything, or maybe up to the spine, just like is like done here? And you could totally do that, and you could stick in all the states for all your weapons in here. I think that's totally reasonable. But I think what the solution is going to be is, instead of having these different blends like I have here, you would just have one. You'd have a state machine attached to a blend like I have here, and then you grab this blend in your code and programmatically apply whatever filter you want. So you don't have to deal with these multiple blend and state machines. I think that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to put out a video on it soon. So I just wanted to give everybody a quick overview of how I'm approaching this from a modeling point of view and what it looks like back into the animation tree here. So anyways, please let me know if this was helpful at all or if it wasn't helpful. And if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and appreciate you watching, and thanks for stopping by.